Hello, my dear Aquariuses, Aquarius Sun, Aquarius Moon, and Aquarius Risings. This is going to be your March 2024 astrology prediction. So, Aquariuses, we start the month with some positive aspects. We have Sun in Pisces sextiling Jupiter in Taurus, and on the same day we have Venus in Aquarius sextiling the North Node in Aries. The month starts in your second house of finances, of personal income and personal values, putting all of your intention and efforts into potentially improving your finances, seeing what you're making, how much you're spending, and how much you're saving. The sextile to Jupiter in your sixth house could indicate that you're making some pleasant expenses to improve your house, your home situation, or just to positively contribute for a family member. This could be an excellent day to invest in your home, and the renovations you could be making on this day could turn out to be quite pleasant. You could also receive or give some karmic communication that is going to feel pleasant and beneficial to you. When we say karmic, we think of it as negative, but it's not necessarily like that. This is definitely in a good aspect, so I think it will be good for your identity and who you are also. You might also be put in the spotlight through this communication, but again, in a good way. On March 3rd, we have Venus in Aquarius squaring Uranus in Taurus. Venus in your first house will be squaring Uranus in your fourth house. You might have some hurt feelings maybe towards a family member or the other way around. This is going to be quite shocking for your family. It could also be that a family member makes some expenditure that affects you also. Or it could be the other way around, that a family member does something with the finances that makes you feel a little uncomfortable at first, but that it might turn out to be beneficial afterwards. This expenditure could also be for pleasurable things, for self-care things, also food and things related to beauty, which is more, Venusian-like. On March 6th, we have Mars in Aquarius sextiling North Node in Aries. Again, on this day, we have some good energy going on between your first house and third house. Excellent time for communication, publishing, marketing, sales, and for spending time with your siblings. You can be very well received by others, even if you push them a little bit, or if you ask them to do something more about you. Mars gives some persistence here, but whatever you end up doing on this day, or 3 days before, 3 days after, it will be fated and supposed to happen in the way that it will happen. On March 8th, we have Mercury in Pisces conjunct Neptune in Pisces. So on this day, you could make some foggy communication related to your finances, or it could be that your judgment related to them is not quite there or quite clear. So be mindful of this and try to avoid making any decisions related to finances on this day. However, Neptune is often thought as the higher octave of Venus, and so this communication could actually be quite beneficial to you with your finances also. And if you make a promise to someone that is related to your personal values, it could not be as clear. And the odds are that, you might not keep this promise, or it could be the other way around, that the other person, doesn't keep their promise. You might also feel very hopeful on this day and very optimistic. That's for March 8th. And then for March 9th, we have Mars in Aquarius squaring Uranus in Taurus. And also Sun in Pisces sextiling Uranus in Taurus. This is a controversial energy on this day because Mars here could indicate some quarrels at home or with a family member, that you might be fighting about something. Maybe something at home could break also. It could also be that someone at home is quite agitated with you. So I would say to try to avoid any kind of confrontation for a couple of days. On the same day, though, we have the Sun in your second house in a good aspect to Uranus in your fourth house. So investments and finances dedicated to your home life, real estate, or a family member could still be going very well for you. On March 10th, we have Mercury entering Aries and sextiling Pluto in Aquarius, and also a new moon in Pisces. On this day, the new moon is happening in your second house. I see a big focus on your personal finances again. New beginnings, maybe you discover a new stream of income or get an idea of something that you are able to monetize. Some of you could set some standards on your values and principles that you believe in that is going to bring new things to your life and help you see your experiences in new perspectives. On the same day, Mercury from your third house of communications, short distance travels, publishing, and siblings is making a good harmonious aspect to Pluto in your first house. Therefore, there could be some intense, profound communication that you receive that could make you look and feel quite empowered and transform you in some way. You could spend some time with a sibling that is similarly going to make you feel fulfilled and improved in one way or the other. A publishing you might have made could be well received, and you might also receive some positive feedback from it. Some of you could also embark on a short trip that is going to make you feel good, strong, powerful, and intense. And it also might be quite enriching for you spiritually. On March 11, we have Venus entering Pisces in your second house of money, personal income, and values. This planet is here to bless your finances as it rules finances in itself. Again, unless it's like harshly aspected in your chart, but I see a good time to spend money on what you believe it could be a good income stream for you. This could also mean that you will feel more prone to spending money on things related to like self-care, beauty, maybe going out on a spa, buying some mask sheets, getting some essential oils. That could somehow boost your self-esteem and make you feel more comfortable in yourself. Venus is also exalted in Pisces, so this is a good time, a positive time related to your personal income and also your personal values and standards. On March 17, we have Sun in Pisces conjunct Neptune in Pisces. We continue that high focus and energy on your second house again. I'm just so excited for you to have this energy in your second house. On this day with Neptune, though, you might feel some kind of confusion and or you could feel your intuition kind of telling you something about finances that couldn't be going that well or that needs to be changed or improved. You might also set very high standards on this day that maybe are not very realistic with Neptune being here. So I would be aware of this energy and try to not to make very big financial decisions on this day. And again, give it 3 days before, 3 days after, because March 17 is the exact conjunction, but the energy, could be felt a little bit before that and after also. On March 19, we have Mercury conjunct North Node in Aries. On this day, you could experience some faded communications. Pay attention on this day, and of course, 2 days before, 2 days after, or 3 days before, 3 days after, as you might receive some kind of downloads that are going to impact you positively. You might also receive some kind of communication or feedback related to any publishing, marketing, sales, social media that is karmic in nature and faded, that could have some intense outcome that you might be able to feel on a personal level. On March 20, Sun is entering Aries. We also have the spring equinox, sextiling, Sun here is sextiling Pluto in Aquarius. So this day is pretty similar to March 10th. This time could bring some type of notice and communication that is going to have an empowering effect on you personally. With Pluto being in your sign. You could also somewhat speak about your most hidden, intense feelings with someone, which is quite unusual for you Aquariuses. But in case you do so, it's going to make you feel better and feel like you gain more self-control in your life. March 21st, Venus conjunct Saturn in Pisces. This Venus-Saturn conjunction is also happening in your second house. You might get an insight or download, then you need to make a more steady, slower approach when it comes to how you make and spend your money. You might also feel inspired to look at your finances closer at this time, kind of like stop yourself from making purchases and expenditures on things that you don't actually need. Or it could be that you make a smart purchase on something that is going to influence the way how you make money. Saturn sometimes brings karma also. So with Venus being here in your second house, whatever purchases that you make, or like if you buy something for somebody, it could really come back to you afterwards in a positive way. Maybe when Venus, sextiles this Saturn afterwards, after some time, or when it squares it, or when it goes into opposition. So that's something to also keep in mind. March 22nd, we have Mars entering Pisces. Mars, again, enters your second house. Big activity going on here. When Mars enters the second house, it usually makes the native to be prone to making impulsive purchases and spend a lot of money. But it could also make you feel quite driven to make more money. With Saturn and Venus being here, you may want and could spend money for pleasures and luxurious things. However, Saturn is there to kind of give you some reality check and keep your credit cards in your pockets, pretty much. Saturn also represents karma, like I mentioned. So if you have to make a big purchase, like a big expenditure in this time, it's a bit karmic. So like you have to, you might not understand why at the moment, but eventually you will understand why when these planets make other aspects to Saturn later on. On March 24, we have Venus in Pisces sextiling Jupiter in Taurus. Beautiful time related to your finances, home, buying furniture for your house, spending money in making your house more beautiful, and why not, more unusual. You might spend some time with family members, go out shopping with them, or you could just enjoy time being together. You could also be having pleasant communications related to your finances, how much you're making, how much you're spending and saving, that will be quite pleasant for all of you. It's really a nice day to be spent at home. Also, you might have a straight up Venus person that enters your house on this day. Someone who is beautiful, charming, just a pleasure to be around, that is going to like bring you joy and also your family environment a lot of joy. On March 25, we have the eclipse in Libra. The eclipse in Libra is one eclipse for this month, is happening in your 9th house of higher education, educational institutions, long distance travel, spirituality, and higher knowledge. On this day, my dear Aquariuses, make sure that you've hit submit in all of your homeworks. If you're pursuing an education, I'd make sure that my homework is also securely saved, because eclipses sometimes tend to disappear things, and I don't want you to feel frustrated because of that. For others of you though, I would make sure that my passport dates are on check. I'd make sure that my visas are on check. I would make sure that I'm on time at the airport at this time if I'm doing long distance travel. And you might also receive some spiritual download that is going to give you this deep knowledge about something that's going to change your life like forever, because this is a fated event. Eclipses are fated. You could also have a spiritual mentor or somebody that has been mentoring you about anything really that passes away, unfortunately. Or for some of you, you could just get some type of idea like all of a sudden that is going to impact your 3rd house matters that are related to communication, to writing, publishing, short distance travel, and social media if you are into that. On March 28th, we close the month with a beautiful aspect between these two planets, Venus and Uranus. Your 2nd house income and material things are being blessed by Venus in a way that is sudden and unexpected before. Uranus is your ruler, Aquarius, so you could also feel and look very beautiful, magnetic, hot, making people feel drawn to you at this time. You might also invite people over at your house on this day that could out to be very pleasant, beautiful, and satisfying. And, if you are the host or the hostess, you could make people feel quite drawn to you and wanting to be in your presence. Okay, Aquariuses, this is what I have for you for the month of March 2024. I really hope you are blessed during this month and really enjoy everything that it has to bring to your life. If you liked and resonated with this video, please, again, give it a like and subscribe. And please make sure to come back on my next one.